Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Realness with 3 S's. I'm your host, Chantele Francis, with my amazing co-host, Janelle. How are you doing today, Janelle?
Hey, Chantele, I'm doing great. Excited to talk about the newest episode of this.
Yes, Summer House, Martha's Vineyard. I think after 2 episodes, I think it's delivering, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm loving it. I could not believe some of the drama tonight. So I'm excited to dig into all of this.
There's a lot that went on this season or this episode, and I already know everybody's names. I remember I was a little bit worried last week because there's all these new characters and I didn't necessarily know everybody last week, but now
Yeah.
I know everybody. I feel like we're buds.
Yes,
We're
I
friends.
agree. Same here. What's the new? I don't remember the new girl's name.
Shanice.
Shanice. There you go.
Shanice, yes, very pretty. We'll get to Shanice as well, which is fun. So this episode is called "Guess Who's Coming to the Vineyard." I guess they're talking about, for that episode title, Phil.
Yes.
That's who, or is it Shanice?
I think both because they
Both?
both came this episode. Yeah.
Which is, I believe, a play on "Guess Who's Coming to Dinner," which is the a racially charged, we'll say, movie. Have you seen it?
Yes.
I don't think I've seen it, but I know my mom's always
either.
talked about that movie.
Mhm.
Guess who's coming to dinner? We have Sophie here. Oh, Sophie wants to know how many shows I'm going to cover, which a bunch of new ones debuting this summer and fall. I'm not sure, Sophie. I'm going to stick through with this.
Mhm.
I usually do Love Island in the summer, so I usually do both US and UK. Those ones are
Ooh.
also very popular, so I wouldn't be surprised if I cover both of them again. I saw that, what's it called? Claim to Fame. How did you watch that?
I saw that was coming back. A lot of people were super excited. I watched the first couple of episodes of the first season, but I didn't finish it.
I really enjoyed the first season, so I'm going to cover that because I like the whole sleuthing element. And so I think I'm going to do it with my friend Jonathan, where we won't watch the reveal and we'll do the reveal live, on the recap.
Oh, that's fun.
So we can talk about clues and who we think it might be, and then we can see if we're right, live. So that one, I don't think, Sophie, that I'm going to cover the Golden Bachelor. I don't think I'll watch it. But I don't think I'm going to cover it. What about you? Are you into the Bachelor franchise or no?
Nope. I'm telling you, competition TV is my thing.
I watch it all. So I just, I love a competition reality shows. Absolutely. I want to be on a competition reality show for sure.
Of course. Which one?
Any of them.
Any?
Yeah.
You would do the challenge.
I mean, I think I'm too old for the challenge, but I would.
Old? Stop.
I'd be the old. I'm older than Johnny Bananas, and people are so mad at him. They're like, "Oh, old man."
But he's doing it.
He's true.
Still up in the top.
I guess I'm around the same age as Darrell and Veronica. I think Veronica is older than me, but
you could do it.
I would do it. I mean, it's one of my favorite shows. Of course, I would do it.
I think I'm seething for Big Brother, especially after Canada and no feeds, which I enjoyed Canada this season, but I'm just seething for Big Brother. I literally cannot wait.
So speaking of, you watched Big Brother Canada this season, correct?
Yes, I saw you in all these posts. I was seething with jealousy, Chantele. I saw them all. You amongst all the legends that I would love to meet.
A good time. Both Wednesday and Thursday last week was such a good time. But so, as you might know, my best friend, her fiance opened up a restaurant here in Toronto, and I work there usually on Sundays and Mondays. And so on Sunday, guess who comes into the restaurant?
Who?
Zach.
Did you say hi?
Yes. And he asked me, did you boo me?
Oh, did he really?
Well, because you weren't there, so you watch the whole recap, and so when Vanessa said her thing or the koozie thing, whenever he came on the screen, he kind of got booed.
Oh,
and he was there. Yeah, it was in the big auditorium. It was really bad.
Did they know he was there?
It doesn't matter. It's just the episode. I don't think anybody cared. They're just
oh.
Anyways, he was actually quite nice, to be honest. I kind of feel like because we didn't have any feeds, he seems to be kind of carving his own narrative as to like what actually happened. And he kind of wanted to do an expose, but then I was thinking like, know what, you quit the game. And like as much as like everybody wants to tell their own side of the story, and I was kind of into it for a moment, I was like, no, this is reserved for people that like stuck through and played the game. And
Completely
he was
agree.
upset that Rob as a podcast didn't like want to interview him, and I think that actually the show wasn't allowing him to do press because of the fact that he quit the game. So
Yeah.
he was blaming RJP, but I don't think it had anything to do with them.
No,
but I was just thinking, I'm like, I don't think I want to.
And why would they hurt their relationship with the franchise just to interview Zach? It's not worth it. If he wanted to tell his side of the story, speak his mind, tell his position on the letter, look at us on a whole different show. But if he wanted to say all that, then he should have got voted out and had the opportunity to do that. He would have been back for everything. So that's his. I don't feel bad in that regard. This is the stupidest quit I've ever seen in my life. So it is what it is. Sorry, Zach. He might be a perfectly nice person, but oh well.
Oh well, let's go back to what we're here to talk about. Summer House, Martha's Vineyard. We see Jordan explaining herself. Like we're back at the dinner scene where we did leave this episode last week with Silas basically coming for Jordan, saying like, you're the bad influence, Fred. I don't like the idea that you go out late at night with my wife. She's a wife now. She shouldn't be, traipsing around New York City with the likes of you. But she's basically saying like, hey, anytime I'm going out in New York, I'm going there for a check.
Yes, so, I like that.
Don't think that I'm just out there like waiting for men to pay for my drinks. Like she's going there for work. So how do you think about how Jordan stood up for herself and his reaction?
I like how she came back at him because I think it's just such a weird like thing he's placing onto her simply because they go out, as if he kidnapped Jasmine, as if Jordan kidnaps Jasmine and drags her out of the house and gets her in all kind of trouble, blah, blah, blah. I like that she stood up for herself because I thought he was being a little bit ridiculous. Like, come on.
A lot ridiculous, to be fair. A lot. So back at the house now, we see Silas and Jasmine in their bedroom and they're kind of discussing the whole situation. And then they literally show them like banging. And I've never seen this on like Bravo before. I
thought they were like pretending, but yeah.
He's taking off his underwear. And then they cut through. It's like night vision. You can see some movement in
under the
sheets, and then cut to something else, and then back to under the sheet. I was like shocked.
Really? See, I don't watch any other shows, so I'm just like, okay, it didn't bother me.
It doesn't bother me. I just was like, I've never ever seen that I off the top of my head on Bravo.
Yeah.
The only other show that I can think of right now that has ever had that kind of night vision like romp room would be in the UK for Love Island. They would show those scenes. Okay. But I totally I just didn't expect them to go. Like I feel like Bravo's supposed to be kind of wholesome or something.
Do you notice how she keeps referencing how like she's married now and it's so different? I really want her to explain what this difference is. I don't get like what's different. What's
well, I think it has to. I'm like we'll probably get into it a little bit later in the episode, but I think it's the fact that Silas expects her to be different, right?
That could be
like
it.
Like well, also like we see the next morning she cooks breakfast for him every day. That's something that she never had as part of her daily activity. Like when you're just taking care of yourself, like if you don't feel like eating breakfast, you don't eat breakfast. Like if you want to go grab something, you just go grab something. You want to skip it, you want to skip it. And so I think now like having someone to potentially tend to, or someone that's expecting you to be certain places or maybe act a certain way because you're married, maybe that's the difference that she's talking about.
Yeah, I hope she does choose to expand on that, because I was scratching my head, maybe because I'm looking at it from my own lens, because nothing changed when it was the same before as it was after. The same friends, like we were already living together, so maybe they weren't. Maybe they moved in after they got married. I don't know, but I hope she expands on
it. And also like with the knowledge that she used to work at the Playboy Mansion or whatever it was,
Mhm.
Playboy Club, maybe that she was also maybe used to going out, used to flirting with different men all the time, like, and now
Yeah.
she kind of like that part of her is not allowed to really exist because it definitely is disrespectful. Like, I
Yeah.
wouldn't expect, I mean, work where you want to work. Hopefully your husband will respect you and your decisions and trust you. But like, I can understand someone not wanting to work at the Playboy Club once they
Yeah.
get married. You know
I
what I
agree
mean?
with that. Yeah, that's a good perspective on it. I agree with that.
I was kind of happy that they matched on Hinge. There's hope for me
Yes, there is.
because I just set up a new Hinge profile. I erased it because I got tired of it. I just set up a
Mhm.
new one. So
Yes.
there's hope for me. I'm gonna have
There is
my
there's always hope for everybody. There's somebody for everybody, Chantele.
especially with the golden age bachelor. There's hope for me.
How old is he?
I don't know actually. Like I haven't seen an actual trailer. I only saw
Yeah.
like a gold like square, like a preview square that says like Golden Bachelor or yeah, the Golden Bachelor.
So is it in reference to age or are you just guessing?
No, it's in reference to age. They've been looking for senior people to participate in a bachelor like show for a few years now.
What is considered senior?
I think it's 65 plus.
Oh, yeah, I don't want to watch that. It would be interesting, maybe.
It might be.
I cannot imagine what that would be like, though. We'll just have to see. Maybe I'll check it out.
I mean, I'm gonna check it out. I don't think I'll cover it, but I'll check it out.
Yeah,
There's they have a need to play spades. How do you play spades?
I do.
I have played spades. That's the one where you shoot the moon and you like Queen of Spades is 12 points. Is that one or is that hearts?
Mm-mm. I don't play
Um,
hearts, but that's not spades. I don't know. I spent many a college days in the caf. We called it in the cafeteria. Class is coming, and we're still playing cards. So I love spades. It's like you throw out book or you throw out the same suit, and the
yeah,
highest card of that suit wins, basically. But you can develop strategy in that.
yeah. Well, I remember spades and hearts are similar.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't remember which is which, but I've definitely played both of them. But the games that we played, what would be probably high school mostly would be like asshole or president. I don't know if you have that one in the States.
I
Basically like you have to put down, if I put down 1 4, you'd have to put down one of something of a higher number.
mm-hmm.
And then whoever, whatever, you just got to get rid of all your cards, and then
Yeah.
then you become president or asshole, and then the asshole has to give you, like, whoever comes in last has to give you 2 of their best cards.
Spades is so much more fun. I love spades. It's just
I
such a
mean,
fun game.
asshole's pretty good. I played probably 1,000 games of asshole, but a spades, like, I love card games in general.
Yeah, me too. Great pastime.
So Amir is just he wants to go outside with Jasmine, and she doesn't want to get wet, and he's not gonna let her get wet, but they're gonna go kayaking so they can have a
Yeah,
Titanic moment.
she was
And
not
then,
into that.
neither was the producer. He's like, the Titanic drowned, right? Or it sank.
What did he say in response? I liked his response. It's not about the details.
Yeah, have you been kayaking before?
Whitewater rafting, not kayak. Kayaking would make me nervous. I see people turn over and get stuck in it. That would be me. I don't.
I can't remember if I have or not. I feel like I probably have. I've definitely like dragon boated. I probably have kayaked before.
Yeah, I've never have, but I would. I might do it. Like I wouldn't be like a party pooper and ruin it if somebody needed like an extra person, but I'm not going to seek to kayak. I swim and everything. I'm not scared of water. I can swim, but I would never like seek out. My reaction would be Jordan's reaction.
Yeah, I'd be like, this is what you want to do. But then
Yeah,
we see a cut to him as a younger man, like loving kayaking. So like this is
his
something he
thing.
enjoys.
Yeah. Maybe he just wanted to show her some things that he enjoys
Look
in
at
a way to get to know her. Yeah.
I'm so good with these oars. So apparently Nick. So what was the fraternity for Nick?
Kappa. He's a Kappa.
So Kappa Nick slid into Shanice's DMs also. He's corny. I'm gonna use your word. He's corny.
He is. And I'm like, this guy keeps shooting his shot and nobody is like catching the shot. He just needs to stop. And I feel bad because this is like what, 3 women now, is it?
I think
I
it's
know
still only
it's
2.
Jordan and
Yeah.
Shanice. He didn't go when anybody else is.
I
He's
don't, not that they've showed us, but like maybe they're saving that for later.
even like the messages he's sending. I'm just like, oh, come on. You know what I mean? Like, get out of here. Come on, Nick.
If I got this message, I would have the same reaction, be like, whack.
I know he has to be watching this, like, damn.
But like, nobody really wants a fire emoji.
Right. I agree.
It's just embarrassing.
Yeah, one of them said, have you always been this fine or something? I'm like, it's just corny, whack, corny. I'm so sorry, Nick.
I mean, I get it's because like I don't find that he has any swag. So like I'm sure that there's somebody that I thought was like, yeah, like he's got some game. How he would maybe even send a fire emoji would land, but maybe because he's just so like uppity and in his jacket and like matchy and like he's so stiff. Like, his fire emojis is just embarrassing.
Yeah, the fire emoji in context of who it's coming from makes it even more corny. You know, because like if it was the person like you said that I thought had swag or something, I'd be like, oh, okay.
Fire emoji, what's fire about it? Like, you know,
yeah, like, it's a good conversation starter, but I just feel bad for little Nick.
Well, and I think also because I don't think that they're attracted to him, that they don't want to get into a conversation about him thinking that they're hot.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I wouldn't. You avoid that like the plague. Oh, you know what
I mean? I will not read that.
I'll give you a thumbs up and move on. You know what I mean?
Would you? You'd acknowledge it?
Maybe. I have a hard time ignoring people in my messages. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah, because I get like from the groups that I run a lot of fan groups.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, I get lots and lots of messages, and even if it's irrelevant, or some people message me like we're the best of friends, and I'm like, where are you? Where are we connected from? But I have a hard time just flat out ignoring people if they try to say something nice or attempt to say something nice. So I'd have to at least give us a thumbs up. You would ignore? You can ignore?
Well, I mean, in the context of like you having groups, no, like it's kind of like even in my comments, I will respond to at least a thumbs up with a comment, but like most likely a response. So you're correct. But if somebody was like fire emoji, I probably would. Yeah, I'd thumbs up it. That's it. I wouldn't actually say anything.
Like, they can't engage with a thumbs up.
Yeah, it's like,
thanks,
buddy. Thanks, buddy.
Yes.
It is shot o'clock. And so that allows Miss Jordan to get out of the damn kayak and go back into the house because she's done.
That was a cute little name. I've never heard it called that. In
shot
the middle
o'clock?
of the day. No, I've never heard that one.
Don't you? Isn't it just like you make anything you want o'clock?
Yes.
Yeah.
So but the second time, it's anytime is shot time for them, but I've just never heard it said that way. I thought it was cute. I'm gonna use it.
Yeah,
I don't even take shots.
I love an idea. It's a very kind of a cottagey thing, I find.
Yeah.
So this is kind of a cottage vibe for sure. Apparently they're going to be going bowling this evening, and it seems like Nick is going to be the one that's going to be organizing this event. Are you a good bowler?
No, I'm like decent, but like I'm not expecting to win ever. I would never bet money.
I always expect to win because I'm very competitive.
Oh no, I don't care about bowling.
But I don't necessarily care about bowling. I definitely had bowling parties, a lot of them growing up. That was like, so I'm definitely like 5-pin. I'm probably better at the 10-pin.
Yeah.
But sometimes bowling is actually pretty fun. There used to be like midnight bowling here in Montreal or in Toronto, and like it's kind of a good time.
We have like cosmic bowling, and then
like retro lights.
Yeah. It's really fun, and they have like adult bowling. You can go at midnight, and they serve alcohol and all that. Yeah. It's fun. You know, I don't mind it. I like to go with a bunch. It's fun with like a big group of friends, but you don't want me on your team though. If you're competitive with it. The
only thing with bowling though is the shoes. They're just so hideous.
Hideous and uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And other people have had their feet in them.
That's true. So you
Yep.
don't have your own bowling shoes.
I don't.
Me neither.
I do not bowl nearly enough. That was cool that they had Obama shoes.
Yes, and like I like the fact that Bria and her whole family are like a little bowling family. I thought that was cute.
Did you?
So when they go into the bowling thing, so Bria is there and she has a backpack on, and I thought it was like I'm like, oh, because they just showed her family clip in bowling. I thought it was like her
A
own
purse.
bowling ball.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's what I thought
Yeah.
she was bringing in was a bowling ball, and I was like, okay, she is ready to bowl. And then I realized it was Milo's
Milo. Like, what is this? You couldn't leave Milo at home. Those things crack me up. Like the little book bags. I see people with strollers. I see people with like even like carriers like for babies. I'm like, your dog does not want to be carried around. Like I could maybe a tiny bit. Like the backpack makes sense for me, like for an airplane,
right?
But not just like out and about. Why didn't you just leave Milo home? I don't. You know,
I think that Milo is getting a check. Milo needs to be in every scene so Milo gets paid. Like Milo is SAG, like AFTRA, like he's on the roster, pay roster.
Yeah.
So what am I writing here? Wants Simon to come for the last week. Oh, right. I'm like, who's Simon? Simon is her Bria's German boyfriend wants to come for her last week because he's coming all the way from Germany. So like 2 or 3 days isn't really conducive for him to make that trip.
Yeah.
And it seems like people are not really happy about this.
I don't know why.
Well, what we're learning is that I think that Jasmine is holding on to the old Bria for the fact that she like apparently Bria used to kind of be like, remember I was speculating this, like she's like, oh yeah, you used to be hanging out with ballers and players and this and that, and so Jasmine is still thinking of her as being that way, especially if she hadn't seen her with this man Simon yet.
Yeah, so I agree. Yeah, the only one that seemed about it was Preston. He was like, yeah, absolutely, come on out. I mean, when they were standing there, he was like the only one that was okay with it. Like Jasmine and then them said yes, but they seemed a little reluctant for some reason. I'm like, dang, everything she does, I feel like they just find something wrong with or they complain about.
Yeah, there must be more to the story. She must have been really fun. And like, this is probably just a different version of her that they just don't understand.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I agree. I can see that too.
So back at the house, Mariah wants to host a moon mass. And basically she's kind of involved in hoodoo practices. It's very spiritual. On her mom's side from Alabama, they have this hoodoo practice. And then her dad's side, Mexican heritage, has a similar spiritual practice. Are you familiar with any of these practices that she was bringing to you? You're like, no.
No, I wasn't, but I was hoping that you were, so you could explain it to me.
I don't know exactly what she was doing. I mean, I do, the moon being in Taurus, that is something that I can understand.
Yeah.
Crystals in general, they do hold energy. And so I can understand having crystals. They usually get charged by the moonlight. And so I do understand that. Singing bowls, I do also understand. It just sends like a vibrational frequency that's like going to help align. But I think this moon mass, I think it was something like her own idea of a spiritual kind of practice, and maybe it has some influence from her hoodoo roots, but I don't know specifically what she was doing, but like all the elements I'm familiar with for sure.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate that they like, I felt bad when they were very uninterested. I mean, you either are or you're not, but I felt bad that she was bothered by the fact that they were uninterested. You know, she seemed sad about it.
It's
like
a little bit hurtful, I would say, because like when you're kind of doing anything spiritual, I would think that there's a little bit of a vulnerability there where you're kind of allowing people to see kind of who you truly are and like, you know, what you believe in. And, you know, if somebody's just like, oh, it's too cold, let's go inside, and like don't even really respect to say like, hey, can we close the circle, or can we, you know, can we conclude this right now? You know what I mean? They just kind of like left her right there. And so I probably would feel a type of way and being like, that was kind of inconsiderate, rude.
Yeah, because even if you don't know or you don't understand, there's just a certain respect level that you would hope that you would have in a circle of friends to to try to end it reasonably and not just seem so uninterested. I don't know. I felt her frustration in that.
Yes, Mariah's frustration was felt, and she definitely was hurt. I feel bad for her. So we see the next morning, Mr. Alex is meditating, and then Shanice shows up. Nick wants to play it cool. He doesn't know how to play it cool, unfortunately. Shanice is a medical sales rep, but she's only able to come out to the Vineyard on the weekends.
Yeah.
Apparently, the last time that she was in Martha's Vineyard, she was going through a breakup, so she wasn't in the best of spirits. So this year, she is ready to. Okay, so I wrote it down. She's ready to meet hot guys, let loose. She's ready to go skinny dipping, and ready to black out. Would this be on your list of things to do if you're going to the Vineyard?
No.
What would be your 4? Do you have a 4?
I love games. So I'd like to have a game night. I'd like to go out to dinner. I am not skinny dipping. Have
you ever skinny dipped?
No, that's not for me. Like, never. One time in high school, like, we dropped to our underwear for a hot tub, but that was like the most I would ever do. I'm like, no. So games, I love game nights, competitive games. I'm competitive in games. Like, I love Taboo. Have you ever played?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you can't beat me and my husband. Like, we're good. We know each other so well.
Like an online like Taboo battle or something.
I am down, Chantele. So games, I'd like to go out to like a really nice dinner. Conversation starters. I'd like to have a game that's a really good conversation starter. I love to talk and get different perspectives. I love to debate. So things like that.
Yeah,
how about you?
I mean, her list is pretty good.
Besides skinny dipping?
Skinny dip, whatever. I don't think it would be on my list, but like if everybody's doing it, I wouldn't.
No, I'm the prude on the beach then. Everybody, or on the side of the pool, like, y'all have fun.
Yeah, no, I'd do it.
We live once, right?
Well, yeah, like, I don't know, just, yeah, it would bother me. It'd be fine. Yeah, I love playing a games night though. I definitely love going out for dinner. I love making like a group dinner, like a family dinner, like everybody makes something would be kind of awesome.
Yeah.
Like definitely going out to some sort of club vibe, whatever, super fun. Like I like going out dancing. So
I really like that. I really like that group idea, like dinner idea. One time my husband like planned a date night and it was like a chef held it and it was a couples, but we all went and we made a big group dinner. Everybody had a specific element to the dinner. It was a really interesting and fun date night. And then after we finished cooking the entire meal, it was maybe 6 couples. And so they were split up in twos. And we all like made the table, sat down and ate what we made. It was a really cool dinner. So you got to learn to cook, try something new. We met a bunch of fun couples. It was great. So I think that's a really, really good idea.
I'm like, you're like stimulating my thought right, like my ideas right now. Cause like I know about a lot of chefs and I'm wondering if like, I also host like a singles group. So I'm like, maybe I'll figure out like a singles mingle where like we do just that. Like we'd be making food with a potential love interest or just like, you know, some other guys, whatever, that everybody brings a guy or something like that. And like, you know, make a meal together.
That's a cute idea. Let me know how that goes if you do it. It was a really fun date night. I'm going to tell him that was probably like 5 years ago. Now I'm going to tell him we need to do that again.
Do again.
Yeah.
I love that.
The food was really good too. And we got to come home with like the little cookbook on how to remake it.
That's so great. Have you ever remade it?
No. But it was really good. It was like clams. I forget what the meat was. And they had like a roasted squash risotto. It was good. It was really, really good. It was a lot of work, but like I can't say I put in that much effort at home. Maybe the kids were gone. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, maybe you're gonna have to make an home date night where you guys, you know, recreate that dinner.
I need to get rid of those kids first. I need to find a sitter. They ain't gonna eat it.
Your birthday, I think, is coming up kind of soon. So
it is
for your birthday, maybe.
Yeah.
So this kind of annoyed me about Nick, where he's like talking to the other guys and like feeling as though Shanice doesn't look like her pictures.
I noticed that. not every, like, Instagram is not always reality. I thought she looked very similar to her photos. She just
She
wasn't wearing makeup. I
and
was
she
like,
looks really good without makeup. You
yeah,
know,
so I
like
didn't.
a lot of people, you know, you're like, ooh, like they're always like worried, like that if they roll over and like the person doesn't look like the person the night before. Like she looks great without makeup,
Mhm.
and like I love wearing makeup. I wear makeup all the time, but like the fact that he's kind of there's an expectation for her to always look like her
Look perfect.
Instagram.
Perfect, right. Instagram is not reality. I keep running across people that judge Instagram as if it is, or social media in general as if it's reality or an indication of reality. Just because we don't see it doesn't mean it's not so. So she's beautiful with and without makeup. I did not think he looked like she was a whole different person.
Yeah, it wasn't a
I was like,
catfish, buddy. I'm
it
like, she
wasn't.
looks like her wearing makeup.
Yes.
Like,
That's a good way. It wasn't a catfish, not at all.
no, and like honestly, like if I wear lashes, like I definitely look like a different person. She's literally just wearing normal makeup and fake
Mhm.
lashes.
Yes, I agree. I was like, come on, Nick. Like, come on.
I think he's just trying to like pretend like he's less into her so he doesn't look as much of a chump.
Yeah.
So Shanice thinks Alex is hot. So what I like about Shanice so far, her energy is positive. She's
Yes, and
there
high
to have a
energy.
good time.
Yes, I agree. I'm liking what I've seen of her so far. It's like she's like a little breath of fresh, positive air.
I meant to look it up. I wanted to know what her sign was because I felt like she must be like a Gemini because they're just usually such like a, you know, usually light. They're usually very flirty.
Mm.
You know, just like wanting to have fun and a good time, never really necessarily wanting to be serious in certain things. Like they're just very social usually. So
Yeah.
let's see if we can find her birthday. Hold on, let's look.
What was her profession again?
Medical sales rep.
Oh, okay. Well, she
Oh,
has a good
okay.
personality.
It seems as though she is an Aries, which also makes sense. I have an Aries friend that is very fun and always looking for a good time. So I can see that. Aries is a fire sign, but they're kind of like really bold and like take action. So I can see her being an Aries for sure.
Cool.
So Bria, Jordan, and Shanice want to go out, and I feel like Jordan also lights up when Shanice is around. Like she looks like
Mhm.
they seem to get along, and maybe now we're going to start understanding a little bit better the dynamic because Bria was also there, and like it seems like when Jasmine was in the group that
Mhm.
maybe they were kind of a fun foursome.
Yeah, I agree. I'm like, these four are going to be fun together. I hope like they can let go of some of the petty things and just have a nice time, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Well, Shanice does ask Jasmine about marriage, and Jasmine says it's the hardest thing, one of the most rewarding, and that one of the hardest things in her life. And so you kind of were asking like, what's the difference? And I think it's her uh, thinking that she needs to become somebody else in order
Mhm.
to be married. Like you did
Mhm.
not think that you needed to change who
Mhm.
you were because he was marrying you for exactly who you are, and
Right.
like you didn't need to change anything. But I think
Mhm.
that she feels like she needs to change something.
I'm dying to know if they live together. And has she mentioned how long they were together before they got married? I want to say she
Uh,
did, but I don't
it might
remember.
have been in the first episode.
Right.
I feel
Oh,
like it all happened in 2 years, right? Because they
okay.
met during COVID, right?
Right. I do remember that. So that's not that
So
long ago. So yeah.
like max 3 years. And when this was probably filmed 6 months ago. So I would say they probably dated for a year and then got married.
Yeah, it's interesting to me that she's saying already that it's hard. I don't know. We'll see where it goes, but I want her to expand on some of the things she's saying so I could not be guessing in my perspective about what she means. Cause, and like I said, it's maybe a lot of me basing it off of my
Yours.
relationship.
Mhm.
Yeah, because it's just we got married and we're the same as we were, but same friends, same thing as we came on. It's the same. Like it's just
Yeah.
a piece of paper for me. So nothing's different in how we operate or how we live. So we was
But then at the
already
same
married.
time, like as far as you've told me, you weren't super like party girl or anything like that.
I was
So
not. I was not. So that also is a difference. So there are some differences, especially when you brought up the Playboy Club, and he might not be interested. That's not there anymore, but he just might want something different out of the wife as opposed to the girlfriend. I want them to talk about it more so I could talk about it more. Because
Right?
because that kind of thing interests me. I like talking about it and examining it, and just it's a good jump off point for a conversation. So I hope
100%.
I
Well,
hope they continue to expand on it.
well, especially since like it's kind of taboo, like the party girl isn't the girl that you bring home to mom. So maybe that's also kind of like a stereotype that she's trying to work against.
Yeah.
Like maybe it's like, oh well, like just because I used to party when I was single doesn't mean that I'm going to be that same person when we get married, when really she shouldn't feel the need to change anything.
Right. That's how I feel. She should still be able to go out with her girlfriends and all trust be there, have a nice time, have some drinks, dance on the dance floor, and come home to her husband. That's my perspective.
I think that he doesn't trust it or like it.
Yeah, that's the feeling I have too. And I wonder if it has anything to do with culture.
That's very fair. I'm not sure. So like you're what, Costa Rica? I don't know if they're that stiff.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. I guess we'll see.
Hopefully they'll expand more.
Yeah.
I also thought it was kind of funny in a shady way how Shanice was like, they're like asking her about Nick. She's like, Nick, no.
I know. This like as much as we could like poke fun and his little corny messages and his fire emojis, everybody's getting that man. I'm like, he must be at home watching this like, damn, am I that bad? I mean, I'm with all the digs, but at the same time, I'm like, just poor Nick. Like, it's always like, poor Nick.
She's just like, he's not my type.
He's not anybody's type so far. I hope that man finds a woman.
But I also love like Jordan was just talking about like big dick energy, and she's like just like doing like the walk, and I'm like, I understand what Jordan means. And if we look at Nick specifically in this example, like he doesn't have that like that walk.
Yeah, he does.
Like
there's like a broomstick up his back, like
it's so stiff.
Yes. Yeah. Nick has Nick, or not Nick, what's the other guy?
Alex.
Yes, Alex definitely has something there.
What I think is because like, so Shanice was like, you know, I think he messaged her or something like you could beat her at basketball or something like that. And so, but then we learn a little bit later that Nick doesn't play basketball. Like he was tall, but so he'd get picked for the team, but he's not good. And so I think that that's also like having this a little bit of like movement, like be less stiff, is also why people are maybe gravitating towards Alex over Nick.
I find Alex more attractive too.
It's because he's got swagger.
Yes, there's something. It's the looks and the little oomph that some men have. Yeah.
So Mariah's still feeling a type of way, and she doesn't want to go out with them tonight. She's annoyed now also because Bria put her dog stuff in with Mariah's towels.
Yeah.
I think that's actually, like, I love dogs. I don't even care if I'm covered in dog hair and stuff like that. But like having dog items with items that I like used for bathing, I might be annoyed with that. How are you feeling?
I understand her annoyance, just not her reaction.
I think
two separate things for me. Like, you can be annoyed. I completely understand that's your things, and I'm sorry my dog's stuff is. But to me, Bria, can you rewash this for me? Or be more careful where you put it. I don't know. I just thought for what it was, the reaction was up here when it should have been way down. I'm like pushing her.
So Bria's reaction or
Mariah's reaction to Bria. I felt like Mariah was a little bit aggressive about this. I'm like, is this, are we at 12-year-old?
Watch your tone. Like, call me a bitch again. I was like, wow, we're getting that
spicy,
heightened.
Over just the dog stuff getting mixed in with towels. We can rewash towels. There's no need to call names. There's no need for little pushes or shoves over things getting mixed in the laundry. Like, it's a group house. Things happen. It was obviously a mistake. It's okay, Mariah. That's how I felt watching it.
I agree with you, and not to excuse how she was reacting.
Mhm.
But I think that it was all colored by the fact that she was feeling um, hurt, and so everything is reacting on that base level of hurt. And so
Mhm.
she's feeling everybody's like kind of disrespecting her and not really appreciating her being there. And like she's being vulnerable and they're walking away to go do a shot or whatever. And then now we have this girl. Like I think she was just already feeling defensive and like feeling emotional, that
Mhm.
like this was just her retaliating and kind of biting back.
Okay, I did not add that into my equation, so that's a really good point. But I feel like if I was there, I'd be like, Mariah, calm down. It's
Yeah.
okay.
I mean,
I'm
100%. I'd be like,
serious, you know?
it's annoying. We know Bria's annoying. Like her dog stuff is annoying. Just be like, Bria, can you wash my damn towels again? And can you just please avoid doing that? Because I don't want to mix dog and human. It's
Human,
just
yeah, that's
like
my bathing items. There's no question about that. I wouldn't want that either. It's gross. But yeah, I just thought that it could have been handled a little better. That's all.
100%. Now, Jasmine, though, decides to confront Mariah, and Mariah thinks that she's taking Bria's side. So, how do you think Jasmine handled the situation?
I was fine with it. It's just I was just watching them all like this is so ridiculous. Like, that's like I couldn't get that out of my mind. I can't believe it's escalating to picking sides and things over this little thing I felt that was so small as because
Mhm.
it's fixable. Nothing's ruined, nothing's destroyed. It simply got mixed in. We can fix it all. Like I would probably be the person in the house. I'll wash the towels. It's okay. No problem. Everything's better now. Type of person. That's me. So I was just like, this is too much. I thought Jasmine handled it well, but I was just like, this is
But then we see Mariah crying to Preston about this. And that's what I was saying. I think she's projecting from people not respecting her moon ceremony, her
yeah,
moon mass. So, obviously, like you want people to be able to handle their emotions a little bit better, but some people are
yeah,
just never had to or aren't equipped to, or they've that's the way that they've always protected themselves, is by like if you're hurt you get angry. A lot of people use anger just to cover their hurt emotion, and
emotion.
so I think that this was just a catalyst for her to retaliate with anger because she was hurt. So
Yeah.
hopefully she is going to like back around, because I'm interested in her and her story. um but she's just very defensive.
Yeah.
Like, I get it, but, like, I don't know if I would allow it to come into my next day. I think I would forget it real quick.
Yes. Yes, exactly. I feel the same.
Yeah. I wonder what her sign is. She's probably a water sign, is my guess.
I wanna know if you're right because 'cause you're good at that stuff.
Sometimes I'm good. Sometimes. What's her name again? Mariah? I don't think actually
Mhm.
I could find very much on her. I wonder, like, kind of like we were saying, if she's not going to be on many episodes, because if she's not part of the cast photo, but she's in the first 2 episodes, it's very weird, I think.
Yeah. Sophie's asking if you're gonna cover the Kardashians.
I didn't even watch the newest season, so no.
Oh, that would be a fun one to cover. I love
Maybe.
I've been watching them since conception.
Oh, Mariah. I think if it's the same person, is it? I wonder if it's her. Let me see her picture. Oh no, it's not. It's not the same person. Sorry. Say that again.
I said in the comments, Sophie's at or
Mhm.
that's all I said about the Kardashians, and that would
Oh,
be fun.
it would be a good watch. Oh, you've been watching them since inception, right?
Yes.
I've watched all the regular like seasons on all
Mhm.
20. I just
Mhm.
haven't watched the new. What is it on Hulu
Hulu.
or HBO? It's on
Mhm.
Hulu.
Yeah.
Hulu's gotten wise to my VPN, so I can't watch Hulu anymore.
Oh,
So
for real?
I
That's tough.
like, I don't know. Like, I used to just use my sister's account, and it used to
Mhm.
work. And I was trying to use it the other day, and it just didn't work. It's like,
Yeah.
and so I
I
can't.
watched that Brooke Shields thing, right? That was good.
I didn't watch. I watched it on Disney Plus, but yeah.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I was kind of bummed because yeah, like I want to have Hulu. Hulu is actually quite excellent, and like it just irritates me that I can't get it with ease.
Why can't you get it? I don't even understand that. Why can you not watch it in Canada? Like, wouldn't they want people to watch it in Canada if they could? You know what I mean?
All the time, all of this, like even like you guys watching Big Brother Canada, like it's like you have to use a VPN. I don't know why it matters. Like even sometimes if I'm like have my computer somewhere else, and you're like, oh, we can't. Like I'm like, why can you only watch things in the country?
I agree. It makes me, because I feel like it only increases your views. So why would you not allow it? Same with Australian Survivor. Like people go break their necks to try to watch it.
It's easy. That's easier to watch than anything on in the States.
Yeah,
The
I
States
agree.
is so hard sometimes. I'm like, come on. I'm like, I've literally have like my dad's lived in the States like for 40 years. Like can't I just have cable? Like, come on. Like, why are you making this so hard for me? He's paid taxes there for 40 years. Give me the damn cable. I mean, I do use his cable still. I use his Cox account, but like some things are. I still have to use though with some channels a VPN because they won't allow me to play, even me having an account that I could potentially use. Anyways, I don't want anybody to come for me.
Yeah, don't.
Like scared of the VPN police. Like,
and they're sophisticated. They know like immediately. It's like, but you're done. It's a wrap.
Boo, boo, boo. So Bria obviously is also upset that Shanice left to go to the club without sticking up for her with her confrontation with Jasmine. How did you feel about her being upset with Shanice? And Shanice was just like, I don't want to be part of this. Like, I want to go have fun. Like, let me just go. We're leaving. Let's leave.
I was with Shanice because like it's just so minimal to me. Like, let's talk it. I would try to, okay, let's talk about this. Let's work it out so that everybody can kumbaya and hold hands, which is not good for reality TV. Let's fix it. Let's just all talk and fix it. There's no need for people to be mad, upset, not wanting to come, not wanting to dance. Like, this is something we can resolve and move forward with. That's my whole thinking on the entire situation. Like, guys, come on.
Yeah, it's definitely not that serious. Like,
right.
I get it, being annoyed, but like at one point you just have to like move on.
Yeah.
But I also have to remember that they're making a TV show, so like
yes.
the smallest things have to get blown out of proportion to have some sort of like show. So I guess that's like Bria's role is to like do things to potentially have a little storyline.
Yeah, Milo is bringing it.
Milo, she's like, hey, the storyline is going to be about me and Milo.
Yeah.
And my boyfriend. Staying for a week. I mean, they're only there for 15 days. Like, for him to be there the whole week, it's a little bit, much, no?
Yeah, I agree.
Anyways, it's okay. So, yeah, I would have been definitely on Shanice's side, but then Jordan explains to, I think it was to Jasmine, I wrote down Shanice, that, like, you should stand up for your friend. Was that who she said it to? Was it Shanice or Jasmine she said it to?
I think Shanice.
Okay, it was. That's what I wrote down, but then I was like remembering Jordan talking to Jasmine at one point about something, but it could have been later.
Yeah.
I just love Shanice though. Like, I just no feelings for all this drama. She's out of there. She's like, I thought you guys were behind me. Like, I'm gonna go have fun. Like we heard her list. She's ready to meet hot guys, let loose, go skinny dipping, and ready to black out. None on her list was having standing up for her friend who's in an argument about dog hair.
Yeah, and none of that list was going to happen at this club they went to.
You're not going to that club? You're not signed up?
No.
For your next Martha's Vineyard trip?
No.
Oh, she didn't write down the name of it.
They need a new club because that club was not it. And they all spoke about how that club was not it. She's not meeting that man. She's not black. Well, she could black out if she wants to, but like that club was not it. And their reaction to it, I thought was funny. I'm like, oh, this sucks. Like, this is no fun. It was like it seemed like the ceilings were so low. I might be claustrophobic, and I'm tall, so I might be claustrophobic in that club. Like, I was cracking up.
It looked a bit like a church basement-y.
Yes.
Yeah, it was. It definitely didn't have like, oh, this is nice hit club. Like, let's go, let's dance. Best DJs coming here. And no, I don't think so.
None of that energy.
No. I did think it's interesting though that when some guy decides to buy them a shot,
That was nice.
Oh yeah, so it was Bria maybe that was talking to Shanice.
Yeah,
That's
it was
why I wrote
them
down
too.
Jordan Bria. That
Yes,
makes sense. Outside of like the club area, and then the guy is just like, I'll take Clase Azul, and like that's expensive.
Is
Like
it? I
$30
don't
a
know.
shot.
I don't know. I don't really drink that much. See, I'm such a prude, but like I wouldn't even know it was expensive.
I mean, maybe if you like had like too many shots, maybe then you would go skinny dipping.
It would take a lot, Chantele. I don't know. It's a lot of shots.
So we see Phil arriving at the house, and like he has a bottle of 1942, which is another expensive tequila, probably like $30 a shot at the store. It's probably like $200 for that bottle, maybe even more. Let me see how much that is. 1942. I'm gonna say how much it's in Canada, but it's expensive. It's a good tasting tequila.
There is nothing that's gonna make me spend $200 on a drink, a bottle of a drink. Not one thing.
Nothing. Okay, so Don
Nothing.
Julio 1942 is. Let's see how much it would be to buy online. Oh my god, why does he like? People can lie about their age. You know when it says like, "What's your age here?" and you're like, you'll just write in what your age is. Like, you could lie about it. Anyways, it's like, oh, we gotcha. Like, no. Okay, hold on. Let's see how much this bottle is. Oh, is it going to be dumb? Why can things be so difficult? I just want the price, you know?
Yep.
I just want the price. I'll just pretend I live in the States. If I had a... Okay. How much is this damn bottle? Come on.
They don't want you to know, apparently.
You can't, it's a secret. Ooh, press for the bottle. Okay, our tequilas. Okay. So Don Julio, tequilas. Oh my god, why they're being so silly? I think it's honestly like it's a lot. But it's not like showing me what I want to see. Okay, 1942. And just buy the damn thing. Okay, it's just being difficult. Well, we'll keep talking, and I'll see if I can find it eventually.
Okay.
So yeah, he's taking a swig of the 1942. He kind of wanders. Well, we see Milo giving him a tour. I thought that was actually very cute.
Cute. It was cute because he opened the door and he flew out and ran all around the house.
I mean, I really like Milo, even though he's getting kind of a bad. Like, I feel like bad for him a little bit. It's like your mom's just like being a little bit insensitive to the people around him, but like Milo didn't do anything.
Right? He didn't. Milo's cute. Milo's
so
the kind
cute.
of dog that I could have. I don't have dogs, but I would want a little dog.
Have you ever had a dog before?
Growing up, but not as an adult. My little one, she's 6 and is unreasonably scared of any animal. So can't go to the park scared. Like family that owns dog we aren't going there scared. It's pathetic. It's very annoying. Yeah, I hate it.
That's really
irrational, Chantele. Yes, it is.
Okay, so I finally got the price. So
okay.
I went to Instacart, and to buy that bottle of tequila on Instacart in California is $168.
On liquor.
And it's like, I think it's only a 26er. I know the bottle's nice, but no, it's 750 ml. Yeah, 26 ounces. So if you think that like markup wise, usually they mark it up like 7 times in like a restaurant or bar. So yeah, the shots are usually like 30 or $40.
Wow.
Wow is right. I mean, it's a good tasting tequila though.
That was generous of that man.
Just really, I wonder what he does, because he didn't. I don't remember him having a chyron with his name, Mr. Phil.
The new guy. It said entrepreneur.
Oh, what does that mean?
Nothing. That's what it means.
Well, okay, that's not true.
For some people, it means something, but I'm not sure what it means in regards to Phil. I don't know. I'm not feeling Phil.
I think Phil's hot.
Oh, he may be cute. He may be attractive, but I'm hoping that what I saw of him is that tequila.
Right. Okay.
And
fair.
That he calms down a little.
Yeah, I mean,
Or
obviously he's on a TV show, right?
I
So like
know.
everything's
Look
gonna
at
be
me.
amped up.
You're gonna have to get me to be realistic about how these TV characters act, because I'm thinking maybe like real world, like, oh, you're being dumb. But this is also a TV show. It's about
They
drama.
want to have like Ass back for a second season, so like, you know, it's gonna be probably a decent paycheck if like they're successful. So
Yeah.
I can see maybe why some of like the drama has been amped up potentially. You're just like, get over it. And it's like, well, if you get over it, it's like not that
Nothing.
entertaining.
Yes.
Like
Nobody's
getting
gonna
over fights, not as entertaining as being in them,
Yes, you're
unreasonably.
right. Let
But like
me
I totally agree with you. Like it wasn't the best showing of character, we'll say. Because Phil goes over to Mariah, and apparently he had called dibs on the room that Nick is going to be staying in. And so he decides to use Nick's washroom, his toilet, without flushing it to leave him a gift because he was staying in his room.
disgusting.
What do you think about this as retaliation?
Disgusting. Come on. It's that tequila. That's what I'm choosing to believe. He was lit. He was feeling that drink. He was enjoying that good tasting tequila. Disgusting. That's not how we resolve conflict, Phil. But this is Phil's way of resolving conflict, or at least expressing that he's unhappy with something. It was a choice.
Okay, I had to say though. Okay, I know that I'm just making a devil's advocate point here.
Oh God. Okay.
I don't necessarily agree with what I'm saying, but I'm gonna just pose this point.
Okay.
So you've had pets before, like you said. I've definitely had pets before when they are angry at me, or like they miss me, or I'm gone for too long or something. I have seen them take a little poop on the bed,
Right.
or something like,
Somewhere.
or on something that you like or use or something like that. So if we consider humans as animals, it's kind of interesting to use that as a defiant way to show your anger.
Interesting is a choice, yes. But it is, you're right. But it's just gross. You know, I couldn't, like, I wouldn't even think to do that. Like, I wouldn't even come up.
It's not my arsenal of how to get back at somebody that I'm irritated with.
In your plethora of watching reality TV similar to this, have you ever seen this one?
Not off the top of my head, but it doesn't seem unfamiliar, unfortunately. I feel like it may have happened at one point on one show, but I can't think of a specific incident. I'll see if I can do a search for you if you'd like. Because I feel like it's happened before, and then they show it, but they blur it out. Like, so I'm like, I can't believe you have to blur that out on TV. Anyways,
yeah,
it's also interesting, funny. So at the club, yeah, Phil is kind of confronts Nick about it and plans to confront Bria about it, wondering if she actually did leave the note. Like, Bria messed up, but Nick doesn't want him to confront Bria right now because he knows that Bria just had this confrontation. So he did let him know. He did say there to him that he left him a gift in this toilet,
yes.
right? I don't know if I could date a man if that's how they choose to retaliate.
Yeah, he's gonna get mad at you and do some crazy stuff. That's what it means in my mind. He's gonna get mad at you and destroy something of yours, do something disgusting. Like, I don't want that kind of. Can we talk? Like he said, he didn't even know if Bria even left the note. So you're angry. You don't even know at whom, and you're immediately punishing Nick for it. You know.
So Mariah also comes to the club, and Bria's annoyed now that Mariah didn't isn't acting upset or apologetic about the shove that she did, and like how they kind of got to an escalated fight. What do you think about Mariah, like, and how she responded when she came to the club?
I think that was fine. A club is not a place to work out anything, in my opinion. We're there to have some drinks, have a good time, dance. Hopefully, Mariah has it in the back of her mind that later they can speak and maybe work it out and see how. The club is not a place for that. I wouldn't go there. I wouldn't expect somebody to show up at a club and come up to me and try to rectify that situation at that moment in time. So I thought that was unrealistic of her. So no.
So then after that, we see Jordan confronting Jasmine about Mariah. So that's the scene that I was thinking of before. And I was actually a little bit put off when she pushed her. She shoved her.
Yeah.
And I was like, I know that you're just doing what Mariah did to Bria, but I was like,
don't push me.
Yeah, I was taken aback by the fact that like it was a hard push.
Yes. And it was exaggerated. Let's be, like Mariah didn't push Bria that hard. It was as much as I said I didn't like it. It was a tiny little thing, right? And it was more so giving her that stuff that belonged to the dog. She like shoved that at her. So no, Jordan, it wasn't necessary to push Jasmine at that moment. I thought that her reenactment was dramatic, but again, it's reality TV. So no, that wasn't necessary. I like that she's trying to say, you thought that was cool, like checking her on the fact that Mariah was wrong, but she could have toned it down, but it's reality.
And if I were Jasmine, I probably would come back hot. Because when you get pushed like that, like something, in my opinion, or from my experience, like comes over you, and you actually like just like anger comes. I remember I was taking a boxing class, and we like first it was just only just like sparring and using like a bag and stuff like that, and doing different like punch patterns and stuff. With pads and stuff, and then they wanted us to like help some of these people that were training for an actual fight. So like they wanted us to like actually do fights with people, like they're beginners, but like like it wasn't like I'm like I don't know. And so I remember at one point I kind of got hit. And I was like, I saw red. I was like so angry, and I was like, oh my god, that's so not like me. But it was just like it was like a natural response and reaction when I got hit to come back with like rage. It was really actually wild. So I was surprised that she didn't have a response after that shove, because I would have probably come back with some rage.
Yeah, and I wouldn't have been surprised if Jasmine just shoved her back, because you saw immediately on Jasmine's face, like, that's not cool. So all that wasn't necessary. I agree with you.
So back at the house, Nick, this also it was really weird, because like Nick is a little bit soft in my opinion, but he was trying to show dominance by coming and telling Phil that he needs to go and flush the toilet. Now I get it. Yes, that he does need to go and flush the toilet, and like I think like he's trying to not look like a pushover for sure. Like, hey, you go do this, but like he doesn't have that alpha like energy, and so we kind of end this episode with Phil saying some sort of analogy about slavery. I couldn't even depict what he was talking about.
Me neither. No, I was like, what? How? I didn't know where he was going with that. Back with Nick, this is so bad, but I probably would have like said it like Nick. Be nice, even though he doesn't owe him any like niceness in this. I think he's trying to de-escalate, because Phil is obviously escalated, right? He's had those shots, he's obviously riled up and trying to punish Nick. So I thought that Nick was just trying to de-escalate.
He wanted him to flush it. He didn't want to flush it himself. He wanted Phil to flush it.
Right, he did. I would want him to flush it too. Like, come on, we're grown. Stop it. But I thought that his approach towards Phil was in an effort to not match Phil's heightened energy, because we see what happens when Amir does, and we got people meeting noses or looking down tall, looking down the short. But
now I think with Amir, I thought it was not a good look for Amir personally. But it showed that he might have little man syndrome a little bit, or Napoleon complex, right? Because right?
Yeah, I guess. But I wonder how tall he is. Maybe Phil's just really tall, and Amir's
I think Amir is like 5'9".
Oh, you think that's
but I think Phil's like probably 6'5".
Yeah, he's tall. Little man energy. You're right. Maybe you're right. But I'm like, poor Amir.
Well, I've just seen it happen time and time again. That it's usually shorter people. You have a lot of vim, and and like all like Phil was doing is just like walk over and just like look down on him, and he's just like, like it just.
Like chihuahuas at a German Shepherd.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I can see that.
the last thing I wrote was Phil is tall.
He's very tall.
Very tall. I didn't like that Amir decided to come in like that.
Really?
So I don't like those type of arguments in general, right?
Yeah.
Like
No, you Phil. I'm sorry. I'm confusing Phil with Amir. Yes, I agree with you. Okay. I thought you were saying you didn't like how Amir came in necessarily. I mean, he was short, but
I did not like Amir interjecting into the fight between Phil and Nick, and he's like the energy that he was bringing. I don't think that it was going to diffuse the situation. Like he's coming in there being like, you can't come in here. And like I was just like, let these two grown men deal with the situation. Now you guys might go and get into a fight over somebody else taking a dump in somebody else's bathroom. Like, why is this your problem? So I just didn't think that he needed to go and get into this altercation now with Phil. Because now him and Phil are going to have a big problem, right?
Yes.
And this has nothing to do with him.
Right. I agree. I mean, I agreed with what Amir was saying.
Not the how, darling. It's the how I didn't appreciate.
Yes. And I think that maybe Nick should have said it with a little bit more oomph, like we say, and maybe he would have gotten his point. But I don't think so, because I think Phil's just going to be irrational. I guess we'll have to see.
Or like he's not intimidated or threatened by Nick. So like Nick wasn't going to be the person that's going to get him to flush.
It's not. Nobody's going to flush. Phil ain't flushing the toilet. I do have that. Like he's not going to flush it. It'll either sit there or somebody else is going to flush it. That's what's going to happen.
Nick would be like, oh, I guess I'll flush.
Yes.
Eventually.
Yep.
Do we have an MVP for this episode?
Can we pick Milo? No.
Yeah, let's pick Milo.
Let's pick Milo. I don't know who to even give it to because they're all
or maybe I would give it to maybe Shanice. She came in with some good energy. Like I'm interested in like how she handles situation. She seems like she wants to be there to have a good time, and so I'm liking what she's bringing so far.
Me too. I want to see more of her next week. I hope we get to see more dynamics, more of her and how her energy impacts that. It's positive. I
wonder if she's going to be gone soon. Has she slept one night so far, right?
Yes, one night.
So I guess she'll have maybe one more night. So that'll probably be next week.
Right? Yeah, I don't want her to come in and out. Yeah. It is what it is, though.
It is what it is. All right. So Shanice is our MVP for this week. Was there anything else that happened in this episode that you wanted to talk about?
No, I think we pretty much covered everything that I was thinking about. So we're good.
Sweet. And do you have anything going on that you would like people to follow you at or join or anything?
I'm just patiently waiting for Big Brother. I cannot wait for that in live feeds. Like, give it to me. That's it. I'm just waiting for that. I'm hoping to jump on with Silent Podcast soon with some deep dives with some interesting people. We're trying to get on. So keep an eye out for that Silent Podcast. I'm Janelle Michelle on Twitter and everywhere else. That's where you can find me under.
Awesome. Well, obviously, thank you for being here. This is always a good time. The show's pretty fun. I'm enjoying talking about it so far. So I'm happy that you were able to join me on this new adventure of Summer House of Martha's Vineyard. So please, if you haven't, just subscribe to the channel, like this video, and let us know whose side are you on? Are you on Bria's side or Mariah's side? Are you on Phil's side or Nick's side? Like, I just want to know your opinion of like the two major fights that happened this episode. And we'll continue this conversation in the comments. Until next week. See you soon. Guys. Bye.